Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're brand new. I'm really happy that you decided to join me today for another speed build, and today we are building again with the new expansion pack for The Sims 4, which is Eco Lifestyle. But today we are doing only base game and Eco Lifestyle. So if you only own the base game and you've just purchased Eco Lifestyle, if you're just gotten into The Sims, or if you have a few packs including Eco Lifestyle, you can definitely use this build and do whatever you want with it. It's kind of big, so I admit myself that maybe it's not so ideal for gameplay because, you know, it's a lot of rooms and floors and a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, I can totally understand that maybe it's not so suitable for every kind of gameplay, but given that my latest build was just, kind of not tiny but smallish container house, and also I wasn't so satisfied about it. I just wanted to build, something a bit bigger. And as always, when I want to build something big, I tend to go overboard, and then I have to furnish all those rooms and I never know what to do with them. And so yeah, I kind of hate myself for that, but apparently that's how I build. I kind of like to complicate my own existence, and this is called masochism. So there is definitely that. But as you can see, the shape of the main part of the build is already done, and then I'm going to add another section on the left side of the screen because it seemed a bit empty. And also, as always, when it comes to kind of more modern architecture, more modern houses, I never know what to do with the landscaping, and so I had to add another part to this house, which was actually already big enough. But yeah, and so you are going to see that I guess in just a few, because I if I remember well, I added that part quite soon in the process of building. But here, as you can see, I wanted to have a round section in the front, and given that I don't know, it was really complicated to use the rounded balcony thingy we have already in game, I kind of took these items from the debug and I made a rounded shape myself. And yeah, did I say that it's only bit? Yeah, I did. Yeah, sorry, my brain is gone lately. It's not a great period for me. Probably if you follow me on Twitter, I wrote something about it. But nonetheless, I really enjoy making content, not only for you guys, but for myself. I mean, I think it helps me a lot with distracting myself from, the issues from the real life, let's say. And yeah, given that this game is really a beautiful escape for me, I don't want to stop. Also because I really have a lot of fun in creating these videos and these builds. So yeah, definitely I'm going to go on, and I talk through it, but I use the tool mod to rotate some windows to make a sort of rounded shape also there on the front. And even though it didn't come quite as I wanted it to be, I also reckon that for me it wasn't the focal point of this build, also because I wanted to give more attention to the roofing. This roofing took me literally ages to figure out, and I had to cut a lot of the process. I knew I wanted it to be, weird and kind of like an eye on the front and on the back, and indeed you can see it's kind of half the shape of an eye. So that was my main goal. And actually, for the roofing, I took inspiration from a picture I saw a lot of time ago, and I wasn't able to find it anymore, so yeah, I'm sorry about not posting it. But actually, I only took inspiration for this shape, which is not even the same. I mean, it didn't go like like an eye, like an half eye, like I did in this build, but it was kind of roundish, and so yeah, I wanted to make something more roundish. But this house is fully functional. I play tested it even though I had some issues, because lately my game has been lagging a lot. I mean, more than usual actually. Yeah, so it was a bit of a struggle to finish this build, but eventually I made it, and I created not one but two custom fireplaces, and I plan on doing another tutorial about it, and not only about custom fireplaces but also about a lot of custom furniture that I've been doing in my also in my past speed builds, because I received a lot of questions about it, and yeah, so I want to explain in full how to do them, because actually it's really simple. Some of them require the use of the tool mod, while some others absolutely don't, and you only need the move objects cheat to do them. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with the ideas I'm having lately. I guess also trying to be more creative in the game helps me to distract myself from the situation I'm living. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with it. And now I think I'm going to add the extension I was talking about, which now will be on the right side of the screen, seeing the house from this perspective. Because as I told you, I found this lot. I mean, it's not even one of the biggest lots ever. It's 50 by 40 or 40 by 50, I don't remember actually. So it's not even a 64 by 64, but I actually had no idea of what to do with the landscaping and the house in general, because of its weird shape. I mean, it's not a traditional house, it's kind of modern, and so the landscaping had to be done accordingly. I mean, because I couldn't place this with a lot of disorganized landscape, or better, I could have done it if it was in a foresty area or something like that. I would have put a lot of trees and bushes and greenery all over, but actually being here in Newcrest, I don't know, I didn't want it to be foresty or something, even though it's definitely inspired by the eco theme that is going on lately in the community due to the new stuff pack. So yeah, definitely there is an eco inspiration. Actually, I haven't done a lot of the gameplay yet, and actually I don't know if I'll ever have time to explore it, unfortunately. But so yeah, I don't know if it's 100% eco or ideal for gameplay, but I used a lot of the new items, and I also placed the candle making station, and yeah, a lot of solar panels and wind turbines. But as I told you, I don't know how eco it actually is, because I didn't pay attention to the footprint, I guess it's the right term, that each appliance used, and so on. So yeah, but as always, I always find myself talking about the family I envision to live here quite late during the video, so let's talk a bit about it. So this house has room for a couple of parents, a teen and two kids, but actually there is a lot of room, because there are two double beds and two single beds, so definitely there is room at least for another sim. And if you have cats and dogs, for sure there is plenty of room for either a cat or a dog. But given that I was only using the base game and the eco lifestyle, I didn't include any of the sort, and I mean any animal, and I guess it's fine like that. I mean, if you want to add an animal, you can definitely find some space for it, or for him or for her or whatever. But yeah, so it's quite spacious. It has a pool, as you saw, I guess, at the beginning, because I built that pool quite soon in the video. But it also has a gym, a study area, a lot of living space, also the hot tub that came with the 20th anniversary of the Sims franchise. And I had never used the hot tub because actually I don't like it, I don't like the roof on it. But I kind of wanted this family, I mean, I imagine this family was wealthy also, because to own such a big house, I mean, you kind of must be wealthy. So yeah, they have a lot of things, a lot of room, a lot of, you know, activities. Obviously, I always like to include, you know, a lot of skill building items. So there is an easel, a guitar, a violin, you know, a lot of activities as always in my builds. And actually my favorite room in this house has to be definitely the kitchen, and you're going to see that because it's a mixture of industrial and modern and also rustic. And yeah, I really liked how it came out, and I'm really pleased, definitely pleased with it. But overall, with all the rooms, as always, when I have to do such big builds, I kind of have difficulties in furnishing because I never know what to do with so many rooms. So as I told you, there are definitely a lot of living spaces, so a lot of couches and seating areas, reading nooks, desk areas. So yeah, definitely I find it really hard to find inspiration. But yeah, I forgot to mention there is also I guess it's called greenhouse, this thing here. Yeah, and I placed some trees inside. As you can see, I grabbed them from the debug menu from the base game, and yeah, so they are ready to be grown. And then I stacked these flower beds, pots, whatever they are, one on top of the other. And then I grabbed these kind of plants from the debug menu that they look like, you know, they are being harvested. Obviously they are not functional, it's only a decoration, but I really liked how they were looking. And here I'm kind of trying to figure out what to do with the front of the build, because actually this space was so empty and it was disturbing me a lot. At first I thought about putting some flower beds, but I actually didn't like how it was looking. It was disorganized, and yeah, I didn't want to do that. And so I kind of created a couple of more of pools, and I surrounded them with rocks, and I placed some fountains things to make it look like a waterfall. And obviously I had to use the tool mod a lot, not only to you know, lower the rocks in the ground, but also to rotate some objects to make them more interesting. And you're going to see I'm going to use the tool mod a lot in this build. And here I'm just, you know, landscaping and surrounding these kind of ponds with more plants and more stuff. And here is the area where I'm going to include the base game hot tub, and it's actually sunken in the ground and it's functional because I pre-tested it. And yeah, so it works. I was really pleased with it. I didn't think it would work, but it actually does. It doesn't work in the way I created it in the video, but I kind of forgot to press the record button when I found the way to make it work. And yeah, so you're not going to see that, but yeah, I found a way to make it work, and it's sunken in the ground, and I really like the look of that. Because actually, as I told you, I don't like that roofing thing, and I think it's really, you know, huge, and I didn't like it there. And so I wanted it to be more hidden in the ground so that it wouldn't seem like it was taking a lot of space. And now I'm creating a barbecue area in this part of the build because, as always, it was a bit empty. I didn't want the landscaping and the overall build to be, you know, crowded, but at the same time I didn't want to leave a lot of empty spaces. And so I came up with this idea of a barbecue area, and I really like how it looks. I am also going to create a sort of roof on top of it, but you're not going to see it because here my recording system started getting crazy because my PC, you know, it's not such a great PC. But now I'm creating a custom fireplace by using the same trick I've used in a lot of my builds, but this time it's only base game, and I'm going to include this one in the tutorial I'm going to do. It's fully functional, and I don't remember if you're going to see it, you know, lighten up, but I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure it works. It worked for me. I playtested it with my sim self, which is my playtesting sim, and so yeah, it definitely works. And yeah, I was really pleased with this area. It's right in front of the main entrance, but I found it really cozy, you know, just a place to hang out. I kind of imagined this family to hang out here in the evenings, and yeah, I really like it. And so yeah, I'm really pleased with this area, and really close to here, but I don't think I included it in the speed build because otherwise it would have been way too long. There is also going to be the candle making station and the woodworking table as well, but here I'm working on the kitchen, which is absolutely my favorite room in the whole house. Yeah, I also forgot to mention that I didn't include all the rooms of the house because, you know, this speed build is already long enough, and I didn't want it to be, you know, overly long. Also because I still find voiceovers kind of challenging, and I still have to get used to them. And with my builds always being super long, it's kind of hard to talk for a lot of time. So yeah, I only included the kitchen, a part of the main living room and the master bedroom, and I guess all the bedrooms are included, but not completely. I mean, I had to cut some things, so I think that the only room you're going to see fully is the kitchen. But anyway, if you download this build, you're going to see everything. Apropos, if you want to download this build, it's available on the gallery. My ID is Giuliabuilds. I'm practically Giuliabuilds everywhere. So here on YouTube, but also on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and on the gallery. So feel free to follow me everywhere if you like my content, and yeah, I would love to connect with even more people, because, you know, I really like to hear someone else's ideas and thoughts, and also to find more creators, because I find that this community is full of a lot of amazing and talented creators, and I'm always super happy to find more and more. And yeah, so feel free to contact me if you'd like. I'm always happy to answer. But here, as you can see, I'm creating a sort of ladder thing with some debug elements, and it's going to be a shelving unit. And here I'm creating a custom fireplace. I didn't want to use the fireplace that came with the Eco Lifestyle pack, because I wanted to create my own fireplace, and this is a trick I used also in my most recent video, so the eco container home. And yeah, I'm quite pleased on how it came out, and it works. Obviously, it's fully functional as always, and I guess you're also going to see it lighten up in the video, because I always like to playtest my builds as I'm building them, and so yeah, you're going to see that it works and it's lighten up. And yeah, as always, I was quite pleased with it. At first, when I tried to build it in my past video, I didn't think it was going to work, but eventually it did, and I was really happy about it. But as you can see, I'm just decorating and placing more and more things. And yeah, as I told you, my game kept lagging, and it wasn't working as well as usual, let's say. So it was quite pestering for me. I don't know what's going on, but I could read on Twitter that maybe I'm not the only one having this issue. But here, as you can see, I'm placing a room I created myself with some artworks, and here I'm working on the main living room, creating the second custom fireplace, obviously fully functional, and I wanted it to have this kind of rustic feel. If I can say it this way, so I used a debug like fence, stony fence, and I kind of enclosed the fireplace in all these stones, and overall I really like how it looks. It's a bit, overpowering because it's so big and chunky and yeah, rustic, I'd say. But overall I'm quite pleased with it. I really like how it looks, and yeah, I wanted to have it being like that because this being an eco house, I kind of figured, that they would embrace a lot of what nature has to offer, and so I wanted this fireplace to be stony and with a lot of wooden elements, and so yeah, and here there is going to be a television on top of it, so yeah, there is also a television at least, and I guess there is also a television in the teens room if I'm not mistaken, but you're going to see that later on in the video. But yeah, here I just finished cluttering up the shelving unit on top of this fireplace, and I'm going to remove practically everything to make room for the television because yeah, I wanted the television here, so sorry about that you're going to see me delete practically everything. But I really love this couch actually, because it's the same couch repeated 2 times, that came with the new eco lifestyle pack, because it really looks like it's been crafted and it's been built with recycled items, and yeah, I absolutely adore it, and it goes along really well with these armchairs, and they're really cute. I really like them. Yeah, and as you can see now, I'm removing everything to make room for the television. So yeah, definitely good job in placing all that clutter to remove it right after. Yeah, great, fantastic, out of style. And now I'm using the rug that came with the new pack, and practically everything in all the furniture in this room is eco lifestyle. And yeah, just a tiny bit of the base game, because obviously this build is only eco lifestyle and the base game. But also these angle lights, I really like them. They're really industrial, and I love them. Also that basket with the pillows and the blankets inside, I find it really realistic, and because myself, I have that sort of thing in my living room, for the winter, so that you can wrap yourself up in a blanket when you're cold during the winter. So yeah, I really definitely really like that about this pack. And yeah, now I'm placing more plants, and now I'm working on the kind of dining room, because actually there are a lot of dining rooms, and actually this one is not fully functional because your Sims cannot reach the seats at the back of the house, but the first 3 seats that you see are definitely usable. And I really like this area because I made this well, as you can see, it's right under the glass roof, but I made this kind of roofing thing with some wooden planks, and so there are some lights hanging from there, and yeah, I really like that area of the house, and I'm really pleased again with how it came out. But now I'm working on the master bedroom, which is the only bedroom in the main part of the building, while all the other bedrooms will be in the second part, in the second section of the build. And yeah, I wanted to use these wall decorations that came with the new pack, all plantsy and green and flowery, because yeah, as always, if you follow me everywhere practically. I absolutely love plants and how they look in The Sims, and so all of my houses have tons of plants, and here as you can see I'm placing some more because they're never enough. And now I'm placing a couple of dressers and wardrobes, and here we are actually on, I think this is the main entrance of the house, and I wanted to showcase this part of the house because I saw this idea from someone. Actually, I don't remember which one because who it was, because it was quite a few weeks ago. So I'm sorry if I don't remember exactly who it was, but yeah, I used that edge thing that you can find in the debug menu, and I created a sort of bookshelf, and yeah, I really like that, and so I included that. And here I'm working on the teens room, and also here I'm going to use the wooden planks to hang the lights from the ceiling. And yeah, I really like how it looks here as well. I would love actually to have this room. I would have loved to have it as a kid or a teen, because it's really spacious. It has a lot of natural light, because as you can see I've used a roof to create a big window in front of the bed. So yeah, definitely not a lot of privacy, but actually there are a lot of trees in front of that big window, so the sim living here should definitely be fine, and no one should peek inside to see what the sim is doing, so they should definitely be fine. But they also have a desk area here with a laptop on it and some clutter as always, and it's the teen that has a guitar and a violin. But now I'm working on the final room actually, which is the kids room, and I envisioned a brother and a sister to have this room. And I know it's not the best to live to share a room with your brother or your sister, but I wanted this house to be for a lot of sims, so definitely I wanted a boy and a girl here. But actually you just need to change the color of one of the beds if you want two boys or two girls to be in this room. Yeah, just change the color of the bed and you should be fine, because actually yeah, I think there is pink wall and light blue wall, but as always you just need to change the color and you'll definitely be fine. If you want to have some other scenes live here, but actually you can also turn this room into something else, because actually it's quite spacious as well. And yeah, so actually there is also room for another bed if you want more sims, but also there is room for a double bed as well, so you can simply delete everything and make this room in whatever you want. The same goes for all the other rooms. But yeah, we are at the end of this video, so I hope you enjoyed it, and if you liked it, please remember to like and subscribe and all those fun YouTube things that you can do. And hopefully I'll see you all in my next one. Bye everyone!